right. Well, thank you guys for jumping on and checking in on another testimonial from Iron Sharpens Iron Fitness. Coach Chris and
Mikal.
here, and we are with one of our clients who's been killing the game.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Really
So,
has.
Danny, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Danny, and this is my lovely bride, Julie. Um, I don't know what else to say other than a transplant from New York. Uh, been in Florida for 20 some odd years and just enjoying this new fitness journey that we're on.
Awesome. I know we've known you for a little bit, but what made you reach out to Iron Sharpens Iron for some help in the fitness area?
Actually, the pandemic and one major, I guess, event in my life was receiving my concealed weapons license and looking at the photo on it and wondering whose photo is that and how did we get here? Because I compared my concealed weapons license with my regular driver's license, and I'm like, these guys are not the same guy. Um, and so that kind of like put it in perspective for me. I was having a lot of issues where I was feeling very sluggish, very lazy. I started to get back problems and knee problems, and I was just in a mode where we're coming out of the pandemic, and I decided that okay, I need to come out of this pandemic, not looking worse than when I went into it, because I was pretty healthy. And I guess just the pandemic, I just got very lazy in all aspects, including my fitness. And I known you for a while, you both for a while, and I figured I said, let me go to a trusted source, a brother in Christ, and let's go through the journey together. And here we are now.
Awesome. And Jules, how did you see this whole situation? What for you made it click that this was the right move for Danny?
I was excited for him just to feel comfortable with who he was partnering with, and just knowing both of you and just having that connection even prior to even considering this or even this being on the radar for him. He had that relationship with you guys, and just that fellowship and that partnership, I think, makes a difference when you're going through any kind of transformation or change, or when you're challenging yourself in some kind of aspect. And for him, was his fitness. So it was something that he had thought about for a long time. So I think just us coming together and just supporting each other kind of helped make that jump and help make that decision to go for it.
Yeah, that's huge, having a support system at home, having a spouse that supports you and is there to cheer you on. What role does Jules get to play in this transformation for you?
I was going to ask that.
She is, so she actually started this fitness journey before me, as far as just getting her nutrition wise. And so me being the competitive person that I am, I was like, wait a minute, you ain't the only one. I said, I got to get on this boat too. Took me a little bit longer than I wanted to get on it, but a running joke with us is that we constantly look at our anniversary photos and we're like, we're never fit at the same time. One of us is fit, the other one is out of shape, and then we flip it. And we're all like, I was like, okay. I was like, we got to get fit the same time. I said this, and I said, you know what? You started it. I'm going to follow you, and we're going to help each other get through this. And we'll see what 2022 brings for us.
That's an awesome goal.
That is very unique.
When is the next anniversary photo, by the way?
Yeah, we got the next one's coming up in January.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So it's coming up.
Yes.
Coming up. She started her journey in January.
Mm-hmm.
I started my journey, May? I don't even know when we started.
About that time.
Then, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Well, Danny, how many pounds have you lost now? Because you've actually been making a lot of moves.
So we started at I started paying attention to the scale at 195, but I'm sure I was heavier than that. And I'm now at averaging 170, so 25 pounds. Yeah, crazy.
That out.
Yes.
And how's everything feeling with you now with your health wise quality of life since you started with us?
Oh, I got a lot more energy. Able to sleep better. Got my sleep cycle a whole lot better. But energy wise, it's just crazy, especially with I'm a big coffee drinker in the morning, and I started drinking coffee like 3 times a day, and just to get energy. And it was just I was just in a cycle. It was like caffeine drop, caffeine drop, caffeine drop. And now it's funny because I don't even want coffee in the morning. Sometimes I'll just grab water. It's just like I just worked out. I know I just drank 2 bottled waters, but I want more water, and I just keep going for the water and the water. It's just funny how before I didn't like water unless it had an additive. It had to have some sort of drink mix in it. Now I'm just like, I just want the H2O. I don't want anything else in it, just because of the energy that it's given me. And I think the workouts and being accountable with nutrition at the same time, it's helping me to achieve the goal that I wanted all along.
I love that he mentioned the accountability. Um,
Mhm.
Pastor Danny here
Mhm.
is a pastor at City Life Church. And so accountability is a huge part of our faith and fellowship. So I love that he mentioned accountability is a huge key in his success. My question to Julie is, Julie, what have you noticed in Danny as he continued on this journey?
I've definitely noticed his energy level is way up. Just that, end of the day, when he would usually be sluggish, or middle of the day, kind of, when we check in, he's like, oh, I'm so tired, I need another coffee, or, that sort of thing. Just the energy level is there. His focus is much better. You know how you get kind of that foggy brain, you don't feel good, maybe you didn't make good choices, you didn't have really good meals, and depending on what you eat, it really does affect you and your focus throughout the day. So he would feel so like scatterbrained or just a little foggy, and he's much sharper, that just sharp mind. Hey baby girl, that sharp mind and that energy is definitely there, and it's so important, in home life and in ministry and just in all kinds of different aspects, to feel good and to have that energy.
Yeah, energy is a big key, and we notice that with a lot of people. One of the other things is nutrition that Danny has been focusing on. What was a difficult part for you? I'm sorry about that. What was one of the challenges that you had with your nutrition in the beginning, Danny?
Um, I think it was just, I hate to use this word a lot, but it was just being lazy. Because I've been on this journey before, and my wife seen me go and do this where I go all in on things. And my thing was, okay, we're in a pandemic. I can't just go walk into any store. There's not fruits available because, we're in a pandemic, and there's not, you can't really touch things when you go to the store. And so it was just, okay, so how do I get nutrition that's healthy for me, that'll help me lose weight, but healthily, not just, I'm not going to eat. Because when we first had the conversation, Macau was like, you're not eating enough. That's why you're gaining weight. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It was like, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, well, let me eat 5 times a day. Cause I would see my wife eat 5 times a day. Okay, she's losing weight eating 5 times a day. So obviously it works. But I also had to realize is what she was eating. And so my thing was, I needed to be accountable. So I used my fitness pal. Like, I have to put it in there. And I started noticing, wow, I'm like not eating enough, or I was eating too much, or I was getting the right calories, but I wasn't hitting my macros. I was hitting too many carbs, not enough protein. And as the workouts progressed and they got harder, I was like, well, if I'm having all these carbs and I'm not feeding my body the proteins, that's why when I wake up and I'm doing a workout, I can barely get through it. And plus hydration. I was, I'll be honest, I was probably well, I drank 3 bottles of water, I'm good. Apparently not, because I wasn't able to get through the workout. So all these things, just having to just get back into a routine. The routine was the hardest thing. We had a year where I was just sedentary, and now I just told my body, okay, now you got to start moving. So I had to start refocusing and retraining my brain to now say, okay, you have to move, but you have to do it with a purpose. And so you have to, I even preached this to my son. I was like, your muscles don't happen in the gym, they happen in the kitchen. So I had to remember that it's 80% in the kitchen and 20% in the workout. So I had to kind of retrain my brain to think that way.
Uh, Jules, what do you feel like has been the biggest surprise for you as far as what he's gone through, and what came out to be a big pleasant surprise in this process?
I think, gosh, I just think back to the energy part again. Like I just seeing him go from, just kind of feeling so down, not having enough to get through the day. He's sleeping better too. I mean, there's a period where he just couldn't sleep. The mind just wouldn't shut off, or he just couldn't get the rest in for whatever reason. And it might have been a combination of the food he was eating and then the energy, and then it's just bad combo. So he wasn't sleeping at all. So he's sleeping much better now. We have a better routine throughout our day, when he's getting up and when we're going to sleep. So I think it's great for the family, and just like that energy has just been amazing. It's been so good to see him like feel fulfilled throughout the day, because he got everything accomplished that he wanted to, and he was focused, and he got to put all of his energy in there, instead of feeling like you're struggling or pushing uphill all day long just to get you know just to get through the day, your normal things done, go to work, spend family time, simple things like that. So to see that energy and to see him sleeping well, I think was a great surprise.
So I'd like to ask as well. I think that's great. Energy is a huge part of
Mhm.
this, and especially when you combine both now, the nutrition and the workouts. And I just want to ask that with that energy, how has this affected your marriage?
In a good way, in a good way, because everything is lazy when you're in a pandemic. Because I had a sit down job in front of a computer, and I tell people this all the time. During the pandemic, I would sit in front of a computer for 8.5 hours. I would shut the computer off, walk downstairs, and sit in front of Netflix for another 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's how I ballooned up. I was like, so I tell all the kids, don't do that.
Yeah.
But it also, since I was didn't have any energy, didn't want to do nothing, my motivation wasn't there. It was like, hey, babe, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. No energy to put anything into our relationship. It just affected us, not only our marriage, but spiritual life. I mean, I was just not motivated to do
Yeah.
anything. And it was just like what she was saying. I was just drinking coffee just to get through the day, because I would sleep 2 or 3 hours. And then you still have to function. You still have to work. You still have a household to take care of. You still have to take care of other stuff. And it did affect our marriage. I was getting, I had less patience because I'm not getting sleep. I couldn't concentrate and make decisions at home. I was leaving a lot of the normal things that I did were not, there was no balance, and it did affect our marriage in a negative way.
Yeah, when you just don't feel good, you don't want to do the date night. You don't want to, like you're just tired. You just want to go to sleep, and you don't really put time into each other. So when you get healthy and when you feel good about, your body, and then you do those extra things, you feel motivated to do those things. So yeah, so there was a big change there.
Yes. Um, no, that's awesome, and I know we've seen the benefits of that as well. Being active, and what it does for your family life, like adds to it. um, my question would be, I know the community part was probably a surprise for you, Danny. How has the community aspect of what we do affected, you being able to stay the course?
It's actually a great addition. I'm used to when I used to work out on a regular basis, it was me going to the gym at 5:30 in the morning, have my program. I was out of there by 5:45 or 6:15, whatever it was. 45 minutes later, I would leave, go on about my day. And if there was someone in my job or in my home that was working out and being fit, we will have those conversations. With this program, when I first started, there was somebody else there working out. And I was like, uh-oh, I gotta keep up. I can't like slouch on this. I gotta like go hard. Um, and then, like most recently we had that couple there, and I was like, oh man, I gotta, I'm very competitive. So I was like, oh, I gotta make sure, I keep up with everybody and make sure I do my thing right. But then also the check-ins, yeah, I struggled with the check-ins to get into it, and I'm starting to get more and more in the habit of getting into it. But the check-ins are great too, because I came out learning so much. You get people who have common goals, so we can share things like, hey, what's working for you, what's not working for you, or if I'm struggling with someone said, hey, I struggled with that, this is how I got over it, maybe you want to give this a try. And that's also a good thing. When you do life together, it's so much better. And I really do enjoy that.
You had one.
Question?
Yeah, he was just talking about check-ins.
Community and check-ins. Yes. So that was also a big part of a lot of the times, being alone by yourself, trying to do it on your own. You don't get that community, and then you don't have that motivation. A lot of times we hear that a lot from people, like, hey, this person is struggling with me as well, but this person isn't actually in the same location as you. They are located in other parts of the US. But my question would be for the nutrition part. I know that we message each other back and forth, and we also do MyFitnessPal. How has Julie been a part of this nutrition journey with you?
It's good that we're both on it together, because we can bounce off of each other, and I can, if I want to eat something bad, she'll look at me like, well, do you really want to do that? Like, and I do the same for her, and we keep each other kind of like accountable. It's like, for instance, at breakfast today, the lady brought out a bunch of, like, what was it, biscuits?
Yeah.
A bunch of biscuits, and we're looking, we both look.
Insane amount of biscuits.
Yeah, we were looking at each other like, there's only two of us here. We don't need 6 biscuits. And we looked at each other like, I'm not eating it. And she looked at me like, I'm not eating. I was like, I'm not gonna let you eat it. I was like, because we're both in this together. But having Julie has been a great help, because she also, like, if I tell her, I say, hey babe, I ate a big lunch, I need to eat a smaller dinner, she'll like serve us, hey, here's your salad and here's your protein. And I'm like, perfect. I'm like, that's all I want. And with MyFitnessPal and keeping into the My Nutrition, I really look at it. I usually like to eat a lot for breakfast if I can, medium for lunch, and try to wean down dinner, because I know me. When I get home and I eat, I'm probably gonna just sit in front of a TV or just relax, and I really don't want anything heavy. So the MyFitnessPal really helped, and the nutrition, as far as like when we go back and forth, like, hey, I was wondering, what can I substitute for this? Because I made it, but I don't like it. And the fact that we were able to tweak it kind of made it easier to be able to go from not caring about what you eat to really focusing and being intentional about what you're eating.
Absolutely. And I know we're switching gears soon, and we've actually already met your weight loss goal, so now we're going to be switching into building mode. So what are you excited about as we switch gears?
I'm actually excited because I tell Julie all the time, I said, I know how to lose the weight, and I know how to lose it by watching my nutrition and working out. But I've never had the opportunity to be focused on building muscle, because I just don't. I know that it's like a lot on what you eat, But I just never had someone to like guide me through that process. You know, it's just a lot of trial and error. Oh, let me look up this program. Let me look up that program. Let me see what somebody else is doing. But we all know that what works for somebody else may not work for you. So I told her, I said, I'm at the age where I don't have time to play games. Like and my schedule is busy. I need to be intentional. I need to be focused. I want to set a goal. And that's like when I reached out to you guys, like even when during our workout, I was like, man, I'm averaging 170. But I told Julie, I said, I'm averaging 170, but I'm going down to what 68. That's not gonna happen. I said, I'm not going because I went to a stage where I got down almost to 150? At 150, 155, unintentionally. It was just I was continuously to eat a certain way and I was working out, but it got to the point where my body was burning all the calories fast. And I just didn't look good. I looked sickly. And I was like, I'm not going there. I was like, so that's why when I got down to 170, I was like, okay, I'm at a good weight, but now I'm getting to the point where I don't really want to look too skinny and sickly. I said, I actually want, I told Julia, I said, I want the vanity muscles now. I want to like start, getting a little bit, obviously I don't want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I also want to look athletic and stay within the ectomorph, body frame that I have. So.
Yeah, so we are now, I know that you are in this building process, and we're really proud that you have actually taken that control now with your nutrition and working out. But in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult. Now, how easy is it for you to focus on your nutrition?
It's easy because I'm I'll be honest, I'm one of the persons that steps on the scale every day. Every morning I step on a scale. My scale actually has a really cool feature that if I lose weight, it'll make a certain noise to kind of like indicate to you, hey, you're doing a good job. You lost weight. Doesn't do that when you gain, which I'm good. I'm all right with that. I don't need the negativity. But but being able to, be on this side of it and just like I think the accountability and the routine of it was helping me because it was hard. I didn't have if I didn't put anything in my fitness pal, I thought I was eating well. And sometimes I would go in the next day and I was like, wow, I really didn't do well yesterday, which was good for me because the next day I would say, okay, let me make better choices. And that's what I would do. Now I'm to the point where I lost all this weight. I was even telling Julie, I was like even today we joked around. I said, well, I know we're going on a date and I'm gonna eat. I don't know where you're taking me. So I'm gonna prepare myself that I can eat whatever I want. I said, so during this breakfast, I'm gonna take it easy because I'm saving my calories for tonight. So it's all about balance, you know what I'm saying? But I also found that I have to, we went to my nephew's track meet this morning and I was like, I'm gonna pack a bunch of healthy snacks because I don't want to be a victim of whatever food is there. I don't want to eat what these teenagers are eating. I know they're gonna have pizza. I'm not gonna go hungry. Let me have little healthy omega-3s, so like little nut packages that that Chris and everybody else said were good for you. And so it was just making a conscious effort to keep myself accountable at all times.
I love what he pointed out there is that
Jules planning the date night.
You were gonna say that. Oh, when Danny said that, I was like, Chris is gonna say something about this, that Jules planned it out. Thanks, Danny. So
hey, this is okay. I will say this. This is the first time she's planned it out, right?
Yes.
Because I normally plan it out.
He usually does it.
Oh, see? And
Yeah.
you hear what Julie said? Julie said he usually does it.
And does she learn that she's gonna do it so that Danny
he's like, I'm not answering any questions. You pick, you decide, you pick. We're going wherever you want. Okay. Yeah. So no, it's usually him.
Usually she's like, where are we going? Don't worry about it. Yeah. She goes, how do I get dressed? Your Sunday best. What are we eating? You'll know when you get there. How much does it cost? None of your business. Like, enjoy your night. Your husband is taking you out. Just enjoy your night. Go get your nails done. Go get something to dress up fancy for me. Act like we still dating. Come on, let's go.
Oh, I love it.
I do too. So Jules, how does he have to dress tonight?
Right?
He doesn't. Well, he always looks good. Jeans and a t-shirt. There you go. We're good to go.
Oh, that's the right answer.
Oh man, I lost my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was thinking about the post that Danny was in a suit, and you commented something about the suit.
That he needs to get it taken in. That thing is like,
You're not lying.
Hey man, that suit's been with me for a long. That jacket. You're talking about the picture that we took a selfie. Is that
And
the
both
one?
of you guys are in it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's funny because the pants I had, the slacks I had on, had not fit me since pre-pandemic. The shirt either. The jacket has been with me for over 10 years, which yeah, I need to get rid of that, but I'm just being lazy again. I don't like wearing blazers, but that was a funeral, so I had to do it. But yeah, like I looked at the photo, I was like, I think it's time to get a new jacket. I was like, but
man. So I'm not even gonna ask Jules where the date night is because that's a secret.
Oh no, it's a secret.
You can't do
I
that.
worked hard on this plan, so I'm not gonna give it away.
Now you know how hard it is.
yeah, exactly.
Stepped into that one.
But so Daddy, so my question would be, what would you say to the guy or the girl who's on the fence and is thinking about joining us alongside us in, fitness, nutrition, the other Danny that's out there?
Yeah. I would say if you're on the fence about it, stop thinking about it and actually do it. As men, we tend to want things to happen overnight. What I would say is take one step. Just talk. Talk to a trainer, talk to, you guys, see what kind of program you folks can tailor to that person's individual needs. Stop listening to everyone else because everyone else's goals is not your personal goal. And that's what I had to do. I saw people around me getting fit and I was like trying to follow them. And I was like, you know what? Let me stop. Let me focus on me. Let me talk to a professional. That's why I reached out to you. And I was like, these are my goals. This is what I want to obtain. Can we work together to obtain that common goal? And you for sure, my training's been focused on my goal. My nutrition has been working on my goal. So I would just say, if you're on the fence about it, just jump in the deep end of the pool and just go for it. And if you're scared of the deep end of the pool, then at least jump in the 3-foot side, but get started. It's just all about getting started. I mean, I didn't think that I would be at 20 pounds lost this quick. I didn't. I was like, I'm just going to start this. It's not going to happen. Maybe by next year I'll be here. But as I started losing weight and seeing the energy and seeing clothes fit again, I was like, okay. I said, let's do this. I'm like, let's go. And I joke around with Chris too. And he's like, so what do you rate this workout at? Well, I got to be strategic here because if I say easy, he's going to make the next one harder. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a 6, but that doesn't mean you can increase the intensity next time, brother. I say, remember, your boy is old.
He says that, but he worked out with Steve and Candace, and they're both 72.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I would just say, just take one step. I would say this. Every journey starts with one step. Just take a step. You never know where the journey is going to take you unless you start.
So I love that. And I think that could really preach.
Sorry.
So my question is, the Danny that we spoke to that one night, the first night, and the Danny that we're talking to now, what is the shift of mindset that you had from then to now?
The Danny that you first spoke to, whether you knew it or not, was depressed, was not happy with who he was as a man, as a husband, as a father, anything. And the person who I am now is someone that who I personally love. And it's funny, I was telling my wife, I said, if I can love myself, I know that everybody around me, that energy will radiate and everybody around me will love me for who I am. And so I've learned now to love myself for who I am because I'm taking care of this temple. And it all started with me. I have to take care of this. I only get one life. I only get one body. And I learned that not taking care of it was not the best thing that I could ever done. I'm thankful for that lesson. But I made a promise to myself that I don't want to go back to that person. I'm gonna keep that photo from that concealed weapons license in my pocket. It's funny because I show it to everyone and I'm like, look where I was and look where I am now. And people are like, wow, just the other day I showed it to someone. They were like, bro, you look like you're 10 years older in that picture. I'm like, yeah, that's what scared me. That I look older than what I am. And they were like, and a lot of people, I wasn't too vocal about it. I wasn't telling everybody, hey, I'm on a fitness journey. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just do it for me. So I had to do something for me. But I would say that that's the biggest change, that I was not happy with who I was, and that I'm learning to love myself again. And by doing so, I can love my wife deeper. I can love my sons deeper, and everything that I do in life, I'm doing it now with a different mindset, with a more positive mindset.
Mm, man. Uh,
I am serious. That could preach.
yeah.
And so the thing is, my question, because as you talked, you were like, that it was about the temple of the Holy Spirit. And so as a pastor, what would you say to other pastors that may be struggling in this? Because you are in a field where we don't talk about that very much on the pulpit, like I don't think I've ever gone to a service where we talked about health and fitness strategically. But what would you say to other pastors?
Yeah, for other pastors, I would say, we're in a field, in a career where we're accountable to other folks. We deal with so much. We are looked upon to deal with many problems, whether it be financial, emotionally, and we have to keep ourselves in a state of being healthy because we need to be there for our flock. Um, I can testify as far as my parents, they weren't really worried about their health as far as eating right and exercising. Um, and it took a toll on them. After a while, we all think that just because the problems of people's emotions doesn't get to us, it does. It wears you down more than somebody having an actual fist fight with you. As pastors, I would say get into a routine where you take care of this temple, because if you take care of this temple, you'll be more ready to deal with everything that's on your shoulders. I mean, right now, as I transitioned into being a staff pastor this year, and that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to get healthy, because I'm like, I can't live on coffee 3 and 5 times a day. I was like, that's not good for me. It's actually driving me to anxiety. But now that I'm, healthier, I'm eating better. I also have talked to other pastors in my church. We're also on the same journey, and it's awesome because we're keeping each other accountable. When we go out to eat, we're like, what are you eating? What? Okay, I'm eating this. I mean, we're like, oh, okay, that sounds good and healthy. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get that. And you don't do it alone. Find someone who's on this journey with you. It can be unintentional, but you have to be intentional about your steps. And as pastors, there is no clocking in and clocking out. My office hours are 8:30 to 4:30, but the sheeps don't know that. The congregants don't know that. They get home at 5:30, and if they have a problem, let me call pastor. I can't ignore that call. I have to be up. I have to be up at 5:45 in the morning, working out, praying, Devo, getting my workout in, so that when I go out into the world, I have not only a clear spiritual mind, but I have a strong physical sense about it too, so that I can deal in both the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. Because when you're in church, you're not fighting the physical, you're fighting the spiritual. So yes, you can say they're not of the same, but they are, because I'm not of this world, but I'm in this world. So guess what? While I'm in this world, I have to be as fit as I can, so that I can, you know, fulfill the commandment and my ministry for as long as God needs me. I cannot wear down my body and expect for God to continue to use me if I can't carry the burden. God's not going to give me more than I can carry. So I would say, as pastors, let's try to take care of us first. We'll be able to take care of everyone else if we take care of us first.
Getting
why are you preaching on this Sunday? Jeez, that dog hunts. That's a term I learned from one of my pastors. He always says, "Now that dog can hunt."
Danny, we were on mute so that the screen focuses on you.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
yep.
and Chris was like, we don't hear that.
Yes.
And that is what is needed. And Danny, I think that you are now being a great example to many other people. And I commend you for that. And Julie, of course, being the best support in this journey.
Absolutely, because he can't do it without her.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
If you try, you're not going to be very successful.
And it's funny because since she started in January, she started before me. A lot of people started noticing her weight loss, and they were like, "Oh my God, your wife looks so, amazing. She looks so good," and blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, she does. She looks great." But in my mind, I was like, "When are you gonna notice mine?" But I'm working out too. But I was just like, "Okay, they're not talking about me. We're gonna focus on." I was like, "Yes, my bride looks beautiful. I thank goodness for my bride. She's looking sexier every day." And so then I would be like, "Okay, tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm gonna kill this workout because somebody's gonna notice me one of these days."
Oh man, is that working now? Somebody's bringing it up to him now.
Yeah. It was funny because nobody, like, I don't share it. I just, like I said, I do it just for me. But I'm sure people have noticed, at least some of the folks that, because the pandemic was crazy. We were talking about it. We were doing everything in Zoom. You only see from here up. Nobody noticed the belly. Nobody, yes, I got full in the face, but people probably thought, he's standing too close to the camera or something, but man, but she's very, like, her pictures, she's always on posting pictures. I don't do social media that much. I like to highlight her and all my other family, but I guess they're noticing. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody, but my thing is just, I'm doing this for me. So if you notice and you ask me, good, I'll recommend you to my people. I said, but other than that, I'm doing this for me. I'm trying to be around for as long as my wife is around. I'm trying to go to heaven together.
That's awesome. I got one last question. I know we talked about a lot, we covered a lot. Is there anything, or what would you say, just anything that we haven't covered? What would you like to say? Open floor for you, Danny.
I would just say that I love the team aspect. We were called into ministry, about a year, 2 years ago? About 3 years ago. And one thing that I admire about the pastor who motivated us to really get into ministry was that he called both of us. And I love the fact that it's both of you teaching me. It's a team effort. because there's different perspectives and you need that. You know, Chris, you focus on the training, Mikal focuses on the nutrition, but together you reach that common goal. And it's just like in our ministry, there's things that I'm good at, and there's things that my wife focuses on. Someone gets hurt, you don't call me, you call Julie. Someone needs prayer, she's like, go to Danny. I was like, so we both know how to work towards each other's strength. And that's something that I like about this program, because I'll mention nutrition during training, and Chris immediately says, have you spoken to Mikal about that? I was like, I will do so this afternoon. And if I do the same to Mikal will be like, I'll mention it to Chris and make sure he focuses on that for your training. So I love the team aspect. We're very team oriented because that's how we function in life and ministry and everything that we do. And me being a big sports guy, I love, specifically with football, I love that every person on that team has to do a specific function in order for the team to win. So with us doing our thing here and you doing your thing, like I think this was a perfect like gelling, because our synergy worked together, because you guys are a team, we're a team, and we have goals that you're trying to help us attain, and you have goals by trying to help people get into a better life through fitness and nutrition and faith, and it just worked out perfect. It was a great union, if you could say that.
Oh man, that's awesome. I
Thank
don't
you.
even have anything else to add to that.
Thank you
go
to
ahead.
that. That was really encouraging, even for our part.
Yes.
Yeah, that we are working as a team.
Mhm.
And we try to do that, especially with this aspect with the online community. We don't want to just single anyone out, but we work together as a team, and other people are working there as well to encourage you. So that is the whole ISI Fit fam is basically running the race together as a team.
That's awesome. Well, we've taken up a bunch of your time, but it was awesome. Thank you guys so much for jumping on here, for sharing your story,
And thank you,
your testimony.
Julie. Yeah,
Yes.
Julie's always busy, but I'm so grateful that she was able to join.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
That's awesome. Well, Danny, thank you for making moves and not making any excuses, man.
All right, Andy Minio.
Andy Minio.
Hey, you know what? Hey, he said it once. I say it all the time. It's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you got it from.
Yeah. She didn't even know.
No,
it's on the front of our trailer. We hashtag it everywhere.
Really? Oh,
We
wow.
Minio that.
That's awesome.
He didn't trademark it. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Great talk.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys shared your testimony. Do it more often, because the word testimony actually means to share it again or to do it again. And you guys have a powerful one, and I think you guys should share that with many, many more people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening for ISI Fit. This has been another great testimonial from Danny Delgado and Jules. And we just want to remind you guys, we're here to help out. Reach out to us anytime you guys need help. We want to help you guys make that next step, like Danny said.
Yeah. And as always, as Andy Minio apparently first started, make moves, not excuses.